I just wanted to make this video because I had a few people that had some questions on my hemp milk video, on the how to make hemp milk video. And I just figured that explaining like this on a video would be a lot easier, certainly for me, than having to write it all out. Okay, so let me have a look at these questions. I'll start with the shorter, easier ones. What can I place the coconut water? I feel like getting coconuts all the time will be more of a hassle since I don't have a special knife to be cutting the top off. I can easily chop my finger off. Okay, so you don't have to use the coconut water every time. The coconut water is something you want to use fairly regularly because of the electrolytes, and if you're trying to make something instead of breast milk, then the breast milk does have electrolytes in it. So if you're trying to simulate that, then in my opinion it's something you want to use, but you don't have to use it every time you make it. I would just make sure to include it fairly often. Making the hemp milk for an older child, you don't necessarily need to use it very often at all, or you can just give your child the occasional drink of coconut water. It's up to you. If you've got a very active child, then you probably definitely want to give them coconut water occasionally. Coconut water is very good, like an energy drink. It's much better than giving them the standard energy drink you buy in the store. So yeah, it's a good thing to add, but you'd be okay if you don't use it all the time. Then as regards to the aspect of cutting it, you don't need a special knife, and you're not gonna chop your fingers off if you do it right. I can make a video showing you how I open up my coconuts. In fact, when I cut the coconut open, I do not use the sharp side of the knife. I turn it over. So when I'm chopping on the coconut, if it slipped off the edge, it's not going to cut my finger because the sharp end is up here and it's the blunt side I'm using. But as I say, I can make a video on that if it's requested or needed, or I might make one anyway. Okay, so that should answer that question. Somebody else here asking, can you use hemp flower instead of seed? That's all I have. You really need to get the seed. I believe that the hemp flower is not the whole seed. If the hemp flower was literally just the seed blended into a flour-like consistency, then yeah, sure, you could just blend that up. But I believe the hemp flour that you buy in the store, part of the seed taken away, and that's not going to have all the nutrients you need in it, and it's probably not even going to blend right. I've never experimented with it, to be honest, but you really do want to have the whole seed to blend. Okay. Then here we go, here's the longer question. This question asks again about the coconut water. So I've already asked about that. It says that they've seen other recipes that don't require coconut water, and if that's fine. As I say, if it's a younger baby, then I definitely want to include the coconut water. I'm not a fan of giving water to young babies because they need the electrolytes when they have their drink. But if it's an older baby, then it's not essential. But I definitely would want to add coconut water in their diet occasionally if possible. Okay, and then now it's mentioning chlorella. It's the person I mentioned here. Another thing chlorella has is a lot of minerals, which is good in place of sea moss. Now I wouldn't use it in place of sea moss. For me, I like to follow Dr. Sebi's teachings. He taught sea moss. Chlorella is an algae. Sea moss is like a weed of the sea. So yeah, they're different kinds of ingredients. I'm a huge fan of sea moss. I've used it for years. I'm super confident in it. The fact that Sebi never recommended the other product. I'm pretty sure I heard in one of his videos him talking about the algae, but I can't remember what he said about it. If I find that, then I'll maybe talk about that in another video. But yeah, Personally, I only recommend the sea moss, and there's some really good sources of it out there. I get it from Purple Moss Paradise, and it's an excellent product. Okay, then talking about the only thing missing in the milk is vitamin D. And yeah, well, vitamin D I like to get from the sun. Take your baby outside, put your baby in the window so it's getting some sun as much as possible. Even in the winter, you can still get sunlight. Even when it's cloudy, you can still get the benefit of the sun coming through the clouds. So just get out in the sun as much as possible. You can, there's also certain things like mushrooms that will absorb the sunlight. You can put your mushrooms out in the sun to help them absorb some, so you can get the vitamins from that. Even sea moss is actually, sea moss tends to grow in the water nearer the surface, and it absorbs the sunlight too. So in my opinion, that will even have some vitamin D too. I believe I've read about that, absorbing the vitamin D. So yeah, I personally would never take vitamin D supplements. You have to ask where it comes from. Is it the real deal? Can the body really metabolize it? Can it absorb it? Can it assimilate it? I'm doubtful. I think everything needs to come from its natural source. So personally, I believe we need to get outside in the sunlight. That's what we need. We are creatures of the daytime. So yeah, as long as you make sure you get out in the sun daily, ideally, then I don't think you need to worry about the vitamin D side of things. Okay, so yeah, so that should answer that question. I'm just looking through here to see what else. Oh yeah, and sorry, with this answering these questions, the person said that they were asking me because they were hoping I was going to reply back sooner than another YouTuber. Sorry about that. It's been about a month, I think, since you posted this question, and I've been super busy. There's been a lot going on. I've got 4 kids, so I don't always answer as fast back as I'd like. It just depends on the month, to be honest. What else have I got here? There's also a question here about multivitamin. I personally am not a fan of multivitamins. Again, I want to just feed my children good nutrition and be confident in the nutrition they're getting. I don't trust vitamins. Normally, for the most part, most vitamins you get in the store, they're some kind of extract, or they're synthetic. The body isn't going to understand what to do with them properly. Most of the time, you're just going to end up peeing them out, if they even contain what they say they contain. This milk is very complete, as I explained, with that and just general nutritious food. I personally wouldn't be worried about giving anything else at all. And then it talks about with an iron liquid, a multivitamin with iron liquid. Now I definitely wouldn't buy something for the store like that. If you're worried about iron, then you can make up some good teas which are high in iron. Use some things like sarsaparilla, burdock, mullein. There's a lot of good herbs for iron that you can use. Yellow dock. You can make up a tea, and then you can even add the tea to the milk if you want to just keep it all in one easy to give formula. Or you can just give that to your child at a separate time, or pour a little bit of the tea in their foods you make up. Eating a good nutritional diet, then you don't need to worry about iron anyway. Let's see what else here. There's also a question about whether it will help your child to put on weight. It will help your child to put on the appropriate amount of weight. It's not going to make your child overweight. It shouldn't make your child underweight. It's providing them with everything their body nutritionally needs. Basically, if you're looking to get fat, then you're going to have to stuff your face with processed foods to do so. If you want to just gain, if you want to just be able to thrive in the way your body's supposed to thrive, or your child or your baby, then yes, this is going to be good. Some people, if you're super overweight and you were just drinking this all the time, yeah, you might lose some weight because you're not eating processed garbage foods that are going to make you gain the weight. This is a good thing to give your child or help your child grow. So in this question, it also says about the doctor being concerned about not enough carbs. So all fruit has carbs. So dates are a fruit. So yes, dates would be a carb. So that would give your child some carbs. And you mentioned about the banana. I'm not sure how long the banana can sit in the fridge. I mean, to be honest, if you make this up, you want your child to consume it as long as possible. The longer it sits there, the more it will be depreciate in nutrients. It's still going to be good 24 hours later. It's still going to be very nutritional, but it's at its optimum as soon as you make it. And the longer that passes after you make it, the more it's going to decrease in its nutritional profile. So really, you know, I'd say make a batch up each day. Ideally, make a batch up twice a day. But I personally wouldn't want to keep it too long. You could have some backup. You could freeze some into like little pops for them, frozen pops, and give that to them as well if you have extra that you can't use, so that you're not going to waste any. But yeah, you know, as regards to carbs, give your child plenty of fruit to eat. Children will eat fruit all the time. Normally, if you bring them up that way, my children eat a lot of fruit. I never need to worry about carbs. As long as they're eating fruit, then you're fine. With this particular recipe I gave, it did include the dates. I suggested that you can also add banana. You could also even throw something like an apple in there. It's just going to make it sweet. It's not going to alter the flavor too much. And all of those things are carbs. So I really wouldn't worry about that. Also, please bear in mind, doctors are not nutritionists. They have not been trained in nutrition. So while some doctors may have done more research than others, for the most part, a lot of doctors, they're not experts in this field. So I wouldn't worry too much when you go to your doctor about that side of things when it comes to discussing diet with them. Also, it asks if it can be heated up in a pot. Yes, you can gently heat this. There's nothing wrong with that. I've used hemp milk in cooked food recipes even. I've used it for making things like plant-based macaronis, and it comes out great. There's nothing wrong with that. You can also, if you had something like a Vitamix, just blend it until it's warm. Yeah, asking about what other sources use for carbs. I already covered that. You can even make it into more of a smoothie. Use the hemp milk, add some strawberries in there. It's more like a strawberry milkshake, something like that. Add some raspberries. All those are good, healthy sources of carbs. Do you know how many calories we'll be taking? Fat, carbs, proteins, vitamins. Do you know how much calories will be? No. Vitamins and minerals, using 4 cups of water. Okay, yeah, so as regards to knowing the nutritional profile, there's some great apps you can use if you're really worried. You can put everything in the app. You can put the age and height and everything of the person in, and it will tell you exactly what your goals are for the day, and it will tell you based on what you've put in whether or not you're reaching those goals. So if you're really worried about that side of things, then you can use one of those apps. I can't think of the name of the main one. I think it's Chronometer. Chronometer is the name of the main one I know. I believe it's pretty good. I don't use that. I don't worry about that. I like to eat the best I can, the best I know about. I like to eat a good, healthy, well-balanced diet, move every day, get outside, get in the sun. Massage is key for nutrition. Kaylin will be talking about that more in his other videos. It's key for children and adults. Moving is key for everyone. Sunlight is key for everyone. If you're eating right, moving right, then you don't need to worry about the exact nutritional profiles like that, especially if you don't have a tiny baby that you're trying to feed like that. Once your child's over a year old, just make sure they're eating a well-balanced nutritional diet. But I say, if you're really worried, then you can use an app like that. That's the best way. to do it. And if you want, you can put in everything for the whole day and really see how much they're getting of everything. Now, if you have any more questions, just let me know. I'm happy to come help answer to the best of my abilities. I hope this video helped.
That's that dopamine, I mean dope. That's that